Good morning. We see this pose often. It's called Sukhasana or easy sit pose. And the reality is it's not easy for most people, sitting cross-legged. And there's a couple of tricks that we can do to start to make this pose a little bit easier. First and foremost, we can elevate the pose. And what happens if we don't elevate the pose is we'll see the hips, the knees lifted, indicating that this tissue through the inner thighs is tight. But more important, the lower back rounds. So we'll see the pelvis literally tipping under and the belly falling in and the lower back rounding out. And you'll see this curvature that happens through the entire spine. What we want to see in our easy sit pose is that our spine is actually really tall. And we can do that by lifting our pelvis a little bit higher and allowing for the sit flesh to move slightly back and behind us and the lower back to move in. And you'll see the belly almost comes forward and it starts to open like a big Buddha belly. The pubic bone, the front of the pelvis moves down and the buttocks flesh slightly lifts. So you feel almost like a very gentle, very, very small level of a pregnant woman. So the sit flesh moves out, the lower back moves in, the belly gets full and spacious, and the back can grow long. So if we don't have anything to elevate us, then the back can round, and then we get all these little spare tires in the front of our body and we round. We'll experience pain up here in between the shoulder blades sometimes because of this lower back. So looking for Sukhasana, easy sit pose, where the pelvis moves slightly forward, the belly is spacious. And still that may not be accessible for most people. So we can find a different seat where we sit kneeling. So you can do that on one block on the shortest setting, the second block on the medium setting, or sometimes even the tallest, two blocks stacked on top of each other. Excuse me. And you can create a little throne for you to sit on, and then your pelvis can come tall and the spine can grow long. And again, the pubic bone moves down and we get fullness in the belly. So the pubic bone moves down and the belly opens up really spacious and the lower back moves in and we get that curve in our lower back. And from our version of a comfortable seat, begin to deepen your breath. Allow for the belly to billow on the inhalation. Inhaling in, the belly opens. And the ribs open from left to right. And the chest lifts and spreads. Allowing for the belly to open. Allowing for the ribs to expand. And allowing for the chest to lift and the shoulders to broaden. Looking for this full body breathing. Making an equal inhalation to a long exhalation. And bringing a slight whispery exhale, a Darth Vader breath to the exhale. And let's link breath with movement. On your inhalation, sweep the arms up, out, And exhale wide and back down, just drawing a huge circular motion. Inhale the arms up, exhale out and wide. Inhale up, stretching through the arms, through the armpits, out and wide, mobilizing through the shoulders, linking breath. Inhale up and out and wide, exhale. By linking breath with movement, we begin to calm the nervous system and start to tune the mind in to being calm, to being present, to settling into this current moment, or for me waking up and starting the day. Inviting myself in to be centered. Moving on, arms up to center and exhale, arch to the right hand to the earth, opening the side bodies, inhale through center and arch to the left. Just swaying from side to side. The muscles of our breathing are all through our ribs, through our shoulders, our abdomen, even into our back. Just linking breath with movement. And just a gentle flow from side to side. Moving on through center, and on your exhalation, twist to the left. Arms up through center, torso through center, and twist to the right. Through center and to the left. And continue inhaling through center and exhaling to the right. Just simply linking breath with movement. When I teach, I typically move a little bit faster than when I practice. So see if you can slow your movement down to almost a crawl. Not trying to keep up with me, but just simply trying to keep up with the slow breath, the pace that you can set. And then bring yourself back to center. Rock forward onto your hands and knees, coming into a tabletop. Hands under your shoulders, knees under your pelvis. Round your spine, look down into your heart. Inhale into a gentle back bend to lift your sit flesh, lift your heart. Exhale to round, arching your back like a cat pose. Inhaling into a back bend, lift your heart, let the belly kind of sag, cow pose. Exhale to round, look down into your heart, cat pose. And continue these spinal undulations, cat cows. Linking breath with movement. Inviting the spine to wake up. Even clawing through the hands and inviting your hands and your arms to wake up. Open the knees wide, bring your toes together, buttocks to heels, forehead to the mat, child's pose. Moving with breath, inhale, rise, tabletop. Keep the knees apart. Exhale, round your spine, look down into your organs. Inhale into a gentle back bend, lift your tail, lift your heart. Exhale to press back to a child's pose. Keeping the knees wide, toes touching. Inhale, rise, tabletop, hands and knees. Inhale to a deep back bend. Exhale to round, look into your heart. Inhale into your back bend. Keeping the knees wide, press back to your child's pose. And we'll do another round of those. Inhale, rise, tabletop. Exhale to round. Inhale into your back bend, press back to a child's pose. Starting to add some variances. Inhale, rise to your tabletop. Bring your knees under your pelvis. And this time, step your right hand back towards your right knee. So just moving your hand back just a couple of inches. And move your right knee forward just a couple of inches. So staggered knees and staggered hands. And on your exhalation, round your spine, look down into your heart. Inhale into a gentle back bend. Lift your heart. Yes, and continue these cat-cow undulations. We're just waking up different aspects of our spine. Our spine is the house of our spinal cord. It's literally our backbone. These are the muscles of our posterior chain. These muscles are supposed to hold us upright. And sometimes they forget their job. The muscle memory is to be sitting at a desk, to be slouched over, or I notice that when I sit in my car, I lean to one side, or some of us carry books on one shoulder or babies on one hip. And we gain muscle memory with the spine asymmetrical or lopsided. Great, now bring the hands back to center and knees back to center. Left hand staggers back, left knee staggers forward. So we're in this asymmetrical tabletop, and on your exhalation, round your spine. Inhale into your back bend, lift your heart. And just continue working through the spine this way. Very gentle cat-cow undulations, inviting the spine to wake up. Our body gains muscle memory, thinking that it's doing us a service, which it is. Starting to log in, where am I the most in space and time? And it says, well, this is where she is all the time, so I'm just gonna put her in this position. It's an efficient, time-efficient machine. However, the efficiency actually isn't most efficient for our joints and for the way that our muscles are designed to communicate. So we have to interrupt that muscle memory. Usually that muscle memory is poor posture. Hands and knees tabletop. Let's go to a regular cat-cow undulation. Round your spine, look down into your heart. Inhale into your gentle back bend. Lift your sit flush, lift your heart. Open the knees wide, toes together, buttocks to heels, child's pose. Spinal twists. Inhale, rise to a tabletop, hands and knees. Extend your right arm out to the right. And on your exhalation, thread right arm underneath left arm for a gentle spinal twist. Inhale to open up and extend. Exhale to thread. Yeah. Inhale to open up and exhale to thread. We're just going to do a couple more of these, inviting the body to twist and wake up. Very gentle. Nowhere to be. Hands and knees, tabletop. Left arm extends. And thread left arm underneath right arm. Allowing the left shoulder to touch down. Great, finding your way back to tabletop, hands and knees. Round your spine, look down into your heart. Inhale into your gentle back bend. Lift your heart, lift your tail. Open your knees, press back to a child's pose, buttocks to heels, forehead to the mat. Inhale, rise to your knees. Tuck your toes under. Tuck your toes under, the soles of the feet open, and bring a gentle hug of the ankles towards each other. The tendency is the ankles fall out, We'll hug the ankles towards each other. Continue to hug the ankles towards each other and work your tush back towards your heels. Now the reality is that a lot of us can't bring our tush all the way to our heels because the ankles are locked in a muscle memory, or the soles of the feet are in a shortened muscle memory. So maybe the hands need to stay out in front of you. Wherever you are, continue to hug the ankles towards each other. Hands maybe stay on the mat in front of you. Maybe hands slide back towards your knees. Maybe the hands come all the way up to the thighs and all the way up to the hips. Wherever they are, that's perfect. We're just gonna work from tabletop, hands and knees, butt back towards your heels, hands maybe stay on the earth, maybe come up to the knees, maybe come up to the thighs, maybe come up to the heart. And we'll just flow. Tabletop, giving the toes a little relax. Work your tush back towards your heels. Hands maybe all the way up to your heart. 2 more times. Tabletop. Tush towards your heels. This is Prapadasana, or screaming toe pose, or one of my old students affectionately called it torture asana, which after a 10-mile run, I can absolutely appreciate. Great. Now coming back to your tabletop, hands and knees. Point the toes. Come to the tops of the feet, the shoelace sides of the feet. And start to work your heels back towards your tush. That may not be an option for you, as the tissue of the knees and the calves and the feet and the ankles are maybe slightly tight. So it's just a direction of working the tush towards the heels and hugging the heels towards each other, and coming back to your tabletop, hands and knees. Some of us may take a block and place it between the ankles and find our tush on the block. Same action. Slide the hands back, tush towards the heels. Maybe the hands stay on the ground, or maybe they slide all the way up to your hips and to your heart. And rock forward to your tabletop. And exhale, tush back towards your heels. And just a couple more times. I climbed a lot of stairs over the last couple of days, so I feel this a lot in my calves. So last week I didn't feel this at all. So our bodies change from day to day. And what was ease-filled 2 days ago doesn't necessarily mean that it's accessible today. And last one. Great. Hands and knees, tabletop. Tuck the toes under, the soles of your feet stretch open. Extend your right leg straight out to the right. So the left knee and the right leg are in one long plane. Hands are underneath your shoulders. And on your exhalation, round your spine, tuck your tail, look down into your heart. Inhale into your back bend, and you'll feel your tail flesh lift and the inner thigh of the right leg really stretch. Exhale and round. Look down into your heart. Inhale into your back bend, lift your tail, stretch through the inner thigh. Exhale to scoop the tail, round the spine. Inhale to lift the tail and stretch the belly open, contracting the spine. Okay, keep the right leg stretched out. Point your left toes. The left toes is your kneeling leg, and then rock your tush back towards your heel. Keep the right leg straight and try to hold on the ground. Inhale, rise back to your tabletop, and exhale, press tush back towards your heels. Now this is relative. It depends on how tight your quadriceps are, your ankles are, and we're just working with our current range of motion. If you find your body stopping, then that's wisdom. That's where the current muscle memory is. We don't have to break the muscle memory. And a lot of us have actually lost touch with the sensation of our body. So your body actually might say, hey, I'm done here, but you've actually lost the sense of the no in your body. So if you've lost that sense of no and your body just comes to a stop, just stop there. You don't need to work through it. You don't need to break through it. The muscle memory is currently tight, or it's currently in a strong position against whatever it is that we're doing. And we just bring a gentle invitation of, hey, do you want to move? I'm not going to make you move. And it's amazing how the body will start to unwind with a gentle invitation. Great. Coming back to your tabletop, hands and knees, gathering the knees together. Extend your left leg straight out to the left. Right toes are pointed on the shoelace side of the right foot. And start with gentle cat-cow undulations. Round the spine, tuck your tail. Inhale into a gentle back bend, lift your tail and lift your heart. Exhale to round, tuck your tail. Inhale into a gentle back bend and lift your heart. Cat-cow undulations. Mobilizing the spine. Mobilizing the pelvis around the hip bone. Let's move on. Press your butt back towards your heels. Try to keep your left entire foot on the earth. Inhale, rise to your tabletop. And exhale, press butt back towards your heels. Now, your right knee might be tight, the ankle might be tight, the left inner thigh might be tight, so you get a little bit of resistance. That's okay. You don't have to go all the way back. Just working butt towards your heels. That might be just simply 3 centimeters. The inner thighs, friends, get very, very tight from lack of movement, sitting at a desk all day, maybe an old ankle injury, knee injury, lower back injury. Great. And find your way back to your tabletop, hands and knees. Round your spine, look down into your organs. Inhale into a gentle back bend. And exhale to press back to a child's pose, buttocks to heels, forehead to the mat. Knees can be wide or knees can be together, whichever works for your breathing, your belly, your chest. Okay. Rise to a tabletop, hands and knees. Extend your left leg out to the left again. Left leg straight out to the left. Right knee, left leg are in alignment. Now, extend your left arm out to the left as well. Left leg, left arm. On your exhalation thread, left arm underneath right arm for a really awkward and sensational spinal twist. Let's move. Inhale, left arm extends and opens up. And exhale to thread, left arm underneath right arm. Inhale to open up. Yeah, and we'll just continue these spinal twists with an inner thigh opening. And last one. Gather yourself up to a tabletop, hands and knees. Extend your right leg out to the right. Right arm extends, right arm and right leg. Let's move with breath on your exhalation thread. Right arm underneath right arm. Whoa, I'm feeling this weekend. Inhale and extend right arm out to the right. And thread. Yeah, we just go, oh, there's sensation there. And open up. And I don't try to barrel through the sensation and make my body get where I want it to go. I just go, oh, that sensation. I'm just gonna knock on that door and wait, and then come back to it. Oh, this next time it opens up a little bit more. Let's go 2 more. And gather yourself back up to your tabletop. Hands and knees. Round your spine. Look down into your heart. Inhale into your gentle back bend. Lift your tail. Lift your heart. Exhale to round. Great. Now on this next inhalation, take yourself into your back bend. Keep your back bend. Keep the belly low, the sit flesh lifted high, the heart moving towards the front of you. Point your toes. Coming to the shoelace side of the foot, point the toes. And again, hug the ankles towards each other. Belly is stretching, sit bones are lifting, heart is lifting. And press your belly back towards your thighs and try to keep your butt lifted away from the heels. Keep your butt lifted away from the heels and just try to press your belly button onto your thighs. Lift your heart radically to the front of your mat. Great. Come back to your hands and knees. Belly is stretching, sit bones are lifted. And then press your belly button back towards your thighs. Don't let your butt touch your heels. Try not to let the lower back round. Keep your heart lifted, butt lifted. Belly button is trying to connect to the thighs. Great, and rise back to your hands and your knees. And one last time, press your belly button back to your thighs. Keep your sit flesh lifted and your heart lifted. So you're suspended. Your butt isn't gonna touch your heels. Belly button stays connected to your thighs. Heart is lifting. This is really intense. This is a back bend. Move your ears back. Pull your chin back. This is a big spinal extension. The spine is extending long. Rise to a tabletop and happily round your spine. Look down into your organs. Inhale into your back bend. And one last time, round your spine. Great. Walk your feet off to the side, knees to the side, and make your way onto your back. Onto your back. If you have a ponytail in your hair, move it to the top of your head or to the side so you can find your neck in neutral alignment. Step your feet as wide as your mat, so it'll be wider than your outer hips. Open the arms out to the sides, palms to face up. And on your exhalation, knees fall to the left. Inhale through center and knees fall to the right. Through center and knees to the left. Through center and knees to the right. And just continue to roll the pelvis from side to side. And bringing yourself to center, feet still as wide as your mat. Let your knees fall into each other. Bring a gentle press of your head into the ground, and you'll feel your spine engage. Press your shoulders into the ground. You'll feel your upper back engage. Head back and shoulders back. Knees gently, very, very gently press into each other. The inner thighs engage. Head back, shoulders back, knees softly pressing. Inviting in a posterior body connection. And relax your legs straight. Release all of your effort into Shavasana. Final relaxation pose or corpse pose. A pose of no effort. A pose of just simply practicing being. Allow your body to stay soft and unmoving. Just simply observe yourself breathing. The natural belly expansion from top to bottom, side to side. The natural flare and expansion of the ribs. The rise and the lift of the shoulders, the upper rib cage. And begin to move your fingers and toes. Slowly bending your knees. And rolling over to your right side. Rolling towards your hands and pushing yourself up to your version of a comfortable seat. Cross-legged Sukhasana. Sukha is for sweet. Easy sit pose. Bring left hand and right hand together at heart center for Anjali Mudra. The hand, symbol for the heart, a gesture to take the wisdom of your being and share it with all of life on and off the mat. Thank you so much for taking time and creating wellness for yourself today. Many blessings. Namaste.